The world runs off technicalities. The world runs off because I told you so up front and you agreed. Because you agreed to this thing, I'm not in the wrong, even though it is a very exploitative deal. And it reminds me of the Bible scripture that says every man's way is right in his own eyes. And it'll be like these relationships, like take for instance a situationship. Up front, one of the parties know that they're not as interested in the other party as that party is into them, and they know the relationship is exploitative in nature because they're getting access to this person. However, their heart is not in it, but technically, right, they're in the right because perhaps they let the person know up front that, hey, I don't really like you like that. This is not that. And although technically that's correct, when moving in ego, when thinking about the technicality of it, if you're moving with the heart, it's wrong to do something like that. It's your integrity is compromised. It's like you're finessing somebody who's green. You know what I mean? Or I think about in business and in the world, when we as people have to operate in oppression, in exploitative systems and capitalism, whatever it is, and we participate in it knowing what we're getting into. However, we're getting into it because perhaps, that's the only option. There's no opting out of capitalism. There's no opting out of, you have to play the game. But because you agree to play the game and the game master lets you know up front WXYZ, then the game master is allowed to be like, technically I'm not wrong. I'll give you an example, another example from another TV show, because to be honest, I'm addicted to television. Embarrassing. But anyway, I was watching Law and Order, and it was an older episode. I don't watch Law and Order SVU because that's too triggering for me. But I was watching Law and Order, and there was an episode about a mass pew-pewing, right? And in the episode, the pew-pew manufacturer was being sued by the state. I believe it was for negligence. This was because the pew-pew company had a feature on their pew-pew that made it very easily modifiable into an automatic pew-pew. And they knew instead of paying the money to change this feature and not make it modifiable, they didn't spend that money because, for one, it made their pew-pews more marketable, and they knew that it made it more marketable to criminals and people who are committing crime in New York. I think it was the case that pew-pews were being manufactured in New Jersey or a neighboring state, and they were finding their way into New York City, and all these crimes were being linked to these companies' pew-pews because it could be easily modified into an automatic pew-pew. Eventually, their pew-pew was used in a mass pew-pewing, okay? And technically, the company was able to get off because technically it's not their fault. But it is their fault because they knew that their pew-pew models were more attractive to people committing violent crimes. However, they did nothing to stop it. And as a result of them doing nothing to stop it, somebody was able to purchase one of their pew-pews and take out multiple university students. And it just feels like a lot of things, business, justice, interpersonal relationships, people move off the technicality. People move off, well, you knew up front, or, well, technically you can't put it on me because of WXYZ. But if we're really moving with integrity, if we're really moving with the heart and we're not moving with ego, you're wrong. And there's this thing that shows up in mythology with the heart being weighed against the feather. And I feel like a lot of people do not move with integrity. The world runs off a technicality. And it opens up another conversation for me in the fact that I believe that magic exists, because when you move, that's a different topic. But I'm making a Substack soon, so keep a lookout for that and follow me here for more spiritual content.